Hello guys, my name is Jacinta Adhiambo and this is Treaty Trend on TV show, and today we are here with Dr. Francis. He's going to talk about HIV and AIDS and lifestyle on the show My Health My Wealth. So till the end of the show, don't touch the dial. Tell us your name and what you are doing and your role in the society.
Thank you. My name is Francis Mkoya. Currently I'm teaching at Tropical Institute of Community Health and Development in Kisumu. And I'm the academic administrator of the institution. I also teach University of Nairobi, Jomo Kenyatta, that is JKUAT, and also I'm teaching Mount Kenya University.
Oh wow, that's nice. You doing those too many things that I go.
No, just part-time lecturing.
Okay, sure.
But mainly I'm based in Teach, in short, is the best college in Africa in community health and development.
Okay. So Dr. Francis, today basically you're going to talk about HIV and AIDS and lifestyle. And for HIV and AIDS is not something new for us. It's something that we've been hearing it for the past years. Some of us tulizaliwa tukisikia, and we're still living with it up to date. So maybe tell us what is HIV and AIDS?
Good. Thank you so much, Jacinda.
Yeah.
HIV stands for human immunovirus, which means affects only humans.
Okay.
And affects also the immune system. So specifically HIV is a virus.
Okay. And
the HIV is the one that causes the disease called AIDS.
So the virus is the one that
causes the disease called AIDS.
Yeah.
And AIDS is acquired immune deficiency syndrome.
Yeah, sure.
A syndrome means it is something that you live with it. It's a condition that will never change. You live it or you live forever.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, do we have some of the causes of HIV and AIDS?
Yeah, we have mainly the cause is the HIV virus.
Okay.
So, possibly I can talk about how do you acquire the HIV virus, but
sure.
Specifically the cause is HIV virus. One mode of transmission or how to acquire HIV virus is through unprotected sexual intercourse with an HIV-infected person. That means you are having sex without any protection. Number two is sharing sharp piercing objects.
Okay, Dr. Francis, before you go ahead, when we are talking about having unprotected sex, so what are we supposed to do so that you cannot acquire that virus using the protections? What are these protections? Yeah,
so when we are talking about protection, we are talking about the best thing is the condom. We have both the male and the female condom, which is very, that's the best method for prevention when it comes to HIV virus. So, and mostly the male condom is very available. Mostly it's free in all the health facilities. But also it's cheaper, even in the chemist or pharmacy. But the male condom is very expensive. So we advise that we use the male condom. And one condom per act.
Oh, sure. So that means that female condoms, they're not there, or they're there but they're not that available, or they're expensive?
Yeah, female condoms, when you go to government health facilities, are available, but very few. They're not like the male condoms because of the cost. One female condom is 50 Kenyan shillings. And once you use it, you dispose. But the male condom, you can even walk in the chemist and get a packet of male condom at 20 bob.
Sure.
Yeah, you can walk to the health facility and pick the number you want for free.
Okay. And what are some of other causes of HIV?
Yeah, sharing sharp piercing objects like needles, syringes, you are not supposed to share. So if you are sharing, like people who are using drugs, injectables.
So these people which mostly use cocaine wanadipians,
yes,
they're not supposed to share the needles with the other partner.
No, they are not supposed to share.
So how can I know that my partner is okay?
The most important thing, how do you know that I am HIV negative or she's HIV negative, is to test. No other way. You cannot look at somebody's body structure and say this is HIV positive or negative.
Okay. Let's look at we are just friends. We are just gang too. Then not necessarily in a relationship. So we are just in a room doing those drugs and we're using this needle. So how can I know that this person is not carrying the virus and is safe or unsafe without going to the hospital?
No, there's no way out.
There's no way out.
The only way to know that somebody is HIV positive or carrying the virus is to test.
Okay. Yeah. And talking about we've seen unprotected sex and sharing objects. Do you have any other?
Yeah, a mother-to-child transmission of HIV virus. If the mother is pregnant and she's HIV positive, she's likely to pass the HIV virus to the kid during pregnancy, during delivery, or during breastfeeding.
Tell us about delivery.
Yeah, a mother can pass HIV virus to the unborn child, especially during pregnant. For example, if she's going to suffer from malaria or STIs, which is going to affect the umbilical cord. You know, umbilical cord is mainly to make sure that there's food passing from the mother to the child, not blood. But if umbilical cord is affected, then the mother will end up, the blood of the mother will end up going to the kid. During delivery, sometimes there's delayed delivery. If this woman is not, this lady is not on ARV, comprehensive care, to prevent the child to get HIV virus during pregnancy, during delivery it might be delayed. So that's why any HIV positive woman is advised to deliver from the health facility for assistance. So once it's delayed, you end up possibly because of the bruises on the kid, then also the blood of the mother or the mucoid and the mucus goes to the body of the kid, and then the kid acquires HIV virus. During breastfeeding also, sometimes the nipples of the mother is broken, sometimes it's bleeding or discharging, and then she's breastfeeding the kid. The kid is likely to get HIV virus.
So how is this kid being fed with the breastfeeded? Because in hospital they're being advised to feed your child directly with a meal from 1 month to 6 months, and this mother is carrying the virus. How can this mother make sure that the kid gets the nutrients, that is the cholesterol, and at the same time she does not affect the child? Yeah,
once a pregnant woman has been diagnosed that she's HIV positive, the best thing they always are given is ARVs. So that is, they lower the viral load of the HIV virus, and then so once the child is born, is given again ARVs. So the child will be given ARVs for 6 months, and the mother continues. It's a syrup.
Okay, it's a syrup.
Syrup the child is given.
Okay.
And then the mother is also on comprehensive care and comprehensive treatment of ARVs. She continues. But one thing that she has to breastfeed that child for 6 good months without giving that child anything, water or any other milk. The only thing the child can be given is medicine from the hospital.
Okay, does this apply only for the infected mothers or for everyone? Feeding your child for 6 months?
Breastfeeding your child is for 6 months does not mean apply. It does not apply only for pregnant mother, for HIV positive mothers. It applies to any other mother. You want your child to be healthy, and you know very well the breast milk has a lot of importance. It's a complete meal. It has all the balanced diet, the quiet temperature, and also I can generally say you cannot replace mother's milk with anything else. So the only thing that the HIV negative mothers might have is that possibly they are working, they can leave this child behind, and the child can be introduced to things like milk if anything happens earlier than 6 months. But the HIV positive mother is to breastfeed the child for 6 months, and then when she decides to, after 6 months, she has to stop abruptly, immediately. She should not continue. But this HIV negative mother can continue breastfeeding the child even for 3 years.
Oh, the HIV mother can...
So has to stop exactly after 6 months.
Oh, right.
But this other one continues to breastfeed the child. She can go on duty.
Why is it that she has to stop for 6 months?
Yeah.
Immediately after.
Now, this child is developing, she can start now biting the breast and start bleeding. Yeah. And at the end of the day, the HIV virus comes in. So and also, you find after 6 months, this child should be introduced to other types of food. The child cannot continue on with breast milk. So she has to be, or the child has to be introduced to other foodstuffs. And if this child is going to be introduced to other foodstuffs, and the pregnant mother, the HIV positive mother continues breastfeeding, the digestive system of this child sometimes can have some wounds, and the HIV virus find their way to the body of the child.
So this HIV carriers should not breastfeed their child more than 6 months.
We don't have HIV carriers. We have HIV positive mothers and HIV negative. In HIV, we don't have carriers. You either HIV positive or HIV negative.
And does HIV have medication?
HIV no cure as per now, but we have a drug that can lower the viral load, that is ARVs.
Okay.
A variety of ARVs depending on the assessment by the health experts, and your viral load will determine what kind of ARVs you are going to be put on. So
there was this funny story that I had that this guy, Alishina, this virus for more than 40 years now, he's 60. After this period of time, when he went back to the hospital, he's tested negative. Is it possible that when you live with the virus for quite a long time, you become negative?
No, it cannot happen. It cannot happen.
It cannot happen.
It cannot happen.
So HIV has no cure.
The HIV as per now does have no cure, but we have a drug that can reduce the severity of the AIDS disease.
So, and how long can a person live with the virus?
It depends with somebody's body immunity.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
if somebody is, their body immunity and nutrition status are very good, this person can even live for longer. I've seen a girl whom I tested, she was in standard 4 in one of the schools which I don't want to mention. She has not given permission, and now she's a second-year university student.
And she's living with the virus?
She's living with the virus.
Very healthy.
Yeah, I have a girl who was born with it, and she's in one of the schools, university, second year. She went to the national school in this country. Yeah, so it depends on how you take it. The most important thing is that, HIV, I always tell my patients, is that HIV is like a visitor to your house. You tell the HIV virus to live in your body according you want it to live. If a visitor came into your home, he cannot condition you how he's going to eat and stay in your house.
Sure.
So once you condition the HIV virus how it's going to stay, by eating well and getting ongoing counseling where necessary, which is very important, you live longer.
Okay.
Your immunity is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Get treatment on time, take your ARVs on time. If you are on ARVs, take on time. If you are on Septrin, take on time. Yeah, be disciplined when it comes to treatment. That's the most important thing. And one major thing is counseling is very key.
Okay, these people should go for counseling.
Counseling is very important. Because one thing, once somebody tests HIV positive, what comes to the mind is death.
Sure.
If she's a mother, my children. She's going to die to leave her children. Yeah. So the most important thing, they need counseling. Otherwise, somebody from there can go and commit suicide.
Right.
Yeah, you must assure her she's not the only one. She can live longer with the support of the health experts and the support of the treatment and the family. The family also plays a very important role in the HIV positive status person.
Have you experienced someone who has killed himself because of the virus?
No, those ones have passed in my hands. No, 1,552 patients have passed in my hands. None of them have ever committed suicide. The only problem we are facing is the religious sects. Somebody goes to be prayed for, he throws away the card, throws away the ARVs, saying he has been healed. After 2 weeks, he's coming with a lot of severe diarrhea, vomiting and the rest, anemic, and they pass on.
That is so sad.
Yeah.
So So HIV is not a life sentence. It's not a
No, it's not a life sentence. You can live with it for longer.
That is not a death certificate.
Yeah, I have a patient who my first 5 patients, one of them is, in fact, 3 of them are still alive. CD4 at 6. That's a walking corpse. But now he's alive. He asked me one question: will I see my grandchildren? Now my grandchild. Now he has seen grandchildren. His children have finished college. They are working.
Wow.
They have settled him from a squatter life. Now he has his home. So he's very happy and very strong after counseling and making sure that he takes his treatment seriously.
Okay.
Yeah.
So people should know that HIV is not a death sentence, is not a death certificate, and they should remain disciplined.
HIV is just like asthma. You take drugs for the rest of your life. Diabetes, you take drugs the rest of your life. Yeah. So it's not hypertension. You take the drugs of the rest of your life. Yeah. The only thing that people take accompanied by stigma, because all of them think they got through in sexual intercourse. Yeah. So somebody who is HIV positive, even if he got through different method of HIV, not through the sexual intercourse, he thinks people talk about it because he's a prostitute or something of the kind.
Yeah, and that is the major problem with the youth. What on wearing prostitutes because you are carrying the virus, and that is so bad.
We are coming on that one on the youths.
Okay, okay, HIV affects some of the cells. Can you tell us the cells, for example, the CD4 cells? What are these cells that are being affected with the virus?
Yeah, the body has 2 types of cells, and that is blood, red blood cells and white blood cells. And white blood cells are mainly the defense mechanism of the body. So once, depending the type of disease that comes in your body, you see, like in Kenya we have different types of army. The army, we have the Air Force, we have the Inchikavu, we have, if the students in university riot, they send the riot squad, they have APs, administration, and the rest. So also white blood cells is like they have different departments of defense. So the kind of white blood cells that fight the HIV virus is called the CD4 cell.
Yeah, sure.
So once the HIV virus comes into your body, the body senses and sends the CD4 cells to go and fight the HIV virus. But unfortunately, the CD4 cells does not kill. The CD4 cells is a good environment or a conducive environment for the virus to enter now and multiply. So that's what happens.
Right.
Yeah. So once the virus enters in your body, the body produces CD4 cells in millions to go and fight the disease. Now the virus now enters in these CD4 cells and start multiplying in millions, in billions, in a short while.
And for example, you have contracted HIV today, and how long does it take for those CD4 cells to multiply?
Now, the body starts immediately.
Immediately?
But now the problem is that the signs and symptoms will appear after 3 months.
Before these 3 months, anyone cannot be that sure if you are carrying the virus.
You cannot be sure, and that's the most dangerous stage of HIV virus when it comes to transmitting HIV virus. Because you don't know if you have the HIV virus, you have no symptoms, you have no fever, you have nothing, so you think you are healthy, and you're just transmitting HIV virus, and multiplication of the HIV virus, that period is very fast, is very high. Because more CD4 cells are being produced to fight the HIV virus, and there's more cells, HIV virus is being multiplied.
Okay, right.
So there's no way. No way. The only test that you can know during the window period, we call the window period, from the time of infection, the time you are seeing the 3 months, you are seeing the signs of the symptoms, is the window period. The only test you can know is PCR, polymerase chain reaction test, and that is done by Kemri. Okay, and now it can be done in Eldoret, in Nambath, and also I think in our Kitale District Hospital, Hospital, we have. So it's a very expensive test. It goes specifically for the HIV virus. But the test that we go for VCT, it is for antibodies. Yeah. So the 3 months, the body has not produced enough antibodies for our test to peak.
Yeah. So statistics say that 1 out of 7 people have got the virus. Is it true?
Have?
Virus, that one person and are living with the HIV. One person out of 7 are living with the virus. Is it true?
Unless you give me a reference, because we have different books giving different references. But it can be true if you got a reference.
Okay, and is it true that the optimistic infectious take advantage of weakening the immune system?
Yes. AIDS does not kill. What kills is optimistic infection.
All right.
Yeah. And when we talk about optimistic infection, don't forget malaria. It's one of them. Yeah. We have TB, because all of us, we have the bacteria under here that cause TB, that dormant. But once our body immunity becomes low, then they emerges. Yeah. Pneumonia comes in. All the diseases, because the body defense is very low. The immunity has come down. Yeah. It is like now the HIV virus has killed every part of the immune system. Yeah. It is like now an enemy, Al-Shabaab, captures the entire army of Kenya. Where do we go? Yeah. So the HIV takes control of the immune system. So any disease comes in, it puts you down. A simple cough, it puts you down, because you cannot defend yourself.
Okay. And during this period of Corona, how are these patients surviving?
That's why we call them the Corona vulnerable people. Yeah, they must take all the precautions.
All right.
Yeah, because once they go down very fast, and their immune system is compromised. Okay. So HIV positive person must take care of the preventive measures, sanitization, washing their hands, making sure they have good masks.
All right. So let's talk about HIV, especially for the youths and their lifestyles.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about the youths? What are we supposed to do? Especially during this period that most of us are that dormant. We don't have that. We are not that busy.
Thank you, Jacinta, for that question. My heart is always bleeding with the youths, and that's why I travel in this country and outside this country to talk specifically to the youths. And one thing is that I have also youths in my house. I have 3 youths, 1 daughter and 2 sons. All of them one of the firstborn has finished university, and 2 of them are in the university. One, the problem with the youths, and I want to make it very clear, the problem with the youths, they are prey of peer pressure. Yeah, they want to do things because their colleagues are doing. And these are the people I call other people's heads and brains are controlling them. Yeah, so the problem with the youths, they want to copy things. And as I'm talking now, you can do the statistics, even I don't need scientific statistics. Pick any youth's phone and go to the previous, what he has been watching, pornography. So they want to practice what they saw. They saw TV on their phones.
Yeah, sure.
So they want to practice. And you know, most of them, when you're talking about the youths, we are talking between, the youths are between
the age of 18 to 35.
WHO. Yeah, the youths are between 10 to 24 years.
Oh.
Yeah, teenagers are between 10 and 19 years.
Yeah, sure.
So when you watch such things, you realize they want to have the desire, they want to practice what they have seen, they have been watching on their phones. So they go out and start looking for girls, or go and look for boys. They want to practice what they did, what they have seen. So the one thing with the youth is that, one, the social media, it is spoiling our youths.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's why when you enter in the house, you find children, your youths disappear to go to the bedrooms. They are called to eat, and some of them, they serve their food, they disappear again in the bedroom. When you go there, you find the things are watching are not good. Number 2, peer pressure. And I want to say this to the youths. You cannot blame your colleagues for your mistakes. We have what we call family values. Jacinta, I know when you are going to school, your parents tells you, my daughter, take care of yourself.
Sure.
Yeah? That's a family value. So before you do anything, remember the family values. And that's what I tell my children. Before you do anything, remember Mkoya's name. It's not a simple name. Yeah. So if all the youths will remember their family values, You are in a college. When you go to college, you find what these girls are putting on is not the same design they put at home.
Yeah.
The way they behave, somebody comes from, some of us, we call them humble families. They want to baptize that to be humble. That we have so many youths coming up from poor families. But when they reach in college, you think when they talk about their homes, their houses are suspended in the air. They have no pillars touching the ground. They want to live somebody's life. They want to live like somebody else. They want to go and do things like other youths are doing. But once a person or a youth remembers the family value, he will never go wrong. That one I want to assure you.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I always tell my children, if you are in college and you want to do something, think twice. If I was there, could you do it? Yeah. So the most important thing is that youths don't blame your colleagues. You never went to college together as a mass. Yeah, you went for a reason.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I deal with academics, and I want to tell you, I cannot compromise with the standard of academics of a student. That one, no. We have seen in college girls, and I want to give you an example. I don't want to mention a college institution. I went to class to teach a common unit, which is over 200 students, because I was teaching a common unit, a health unit. And then I found two girls seated in front with a miniskirt of a miniskirt. And they make sure you see their private parts. They don't have a pant. So I told those students to sit behind. I told them, I've seen what you want me to see, sit behind. They went and sat behind. That was my first lecture with that group of students. Those students disappeared. They never attended my units. Because after that, I called them in my office and I told them, you are my daughters. And I don't want you to behave like this. If you put on such a clothes, sit behind. But if you want to sit in front, put on decently. Even if you are miniskirt, put on your pants.
Yeah.
So those girls disappeared. So I realized these girls sit like that for male lecturers, so they have sex with them to give them marks. It happens. This is a reality in universities and in colleges. Students don't want to work hard, they want giving for sex. And I always tell my students, I wish I get such a student. I'll be making sure you fail every time so that I continue using you. I keep you around, but I've never come across such a student. So they disappear. I see them coming to sit for the examination. 14 lectures, 3 hours, that's 42 hours. Total, they attended only 3 hours. In the university and colleges, for you to sit for the examination, you must have covered 75% and above.
Yeah, sure.
So when I told them to cannot sit for the exam, they went to Dean of Students. Dean of Students calls me, you need to, I told him I'm not giving them the exam. They went to the rector, I'm not giving them the exam. The following day, the parents come in, one driving Mercedes-Benz, another one Labrador, abusing who is this stupid lecturer, denying my children exams. I told the girls to explain to their parents why they never sat for the exam and why they never came to my classes. So I left their parents quarreling with their own children. And when they are coming in, they are calling me a stupid lecturer. Yeah. So the most important thing, youths must live their own life.
Sure.
And the problem we are having is that they're having crisis, identity crisis. When I meet a youth and I say, habari yako kijana, mimi si mtoto yako. Nikikuita habari yako mzee, mimi sio baba yako. There are mysterious organs. The mysterious organs means they cannot be classified as animals or plants. So they don't crisis. Identity crisis as a problem with our youths.
Okay.
But I want to say this: if youths can find their own space, if youths can realize who they are, these are the people that we can depend on. And I say this from experience. Why? I've traveled in schools in Kenya and outside Kenya. I've given motivational talks, including national schools, small studying schools. And I've seen boys and girls picking my information and using it and making it to university. And when they go to university, they still use the same information and have made it. I can bring them in this institute. Yeah, I can bring them and they can testify. In West Bokot, I've been there. There are schools that cannot sit for the examination until I speak to them. So the youths are very strong. The only problem we are having with the youths, and I want to talk about this, they are not scared about HIV as per now. They are scared of pregnancy.
Yeah, sure.
That's where the problem is. They have sex, go for emergency pills. Emergency pill does not prevent you from getting STIs and HIV. Never. The only thing is a condom that can prevent you from getting HIV or STI and getting pregnant. Yeah, they are subjecting our daughters on, or our girls on, emergency pills. Emergency pills is not family planning. It's not it's made emergency in the case of rape. Or the condom was used and it passed. Yeah, and you must be very genuine to the service provider to help you. So why I'm saying that emergency pills is not for it's not family planning. Why? The strength of emergency pills, one small tablet is equivalent that you are taking family planning pills, 21 of them at once.
Wow.
It is going to make your reproductive hormones unstable. So at the end of the day, you don't get children.
Even after a very long time.
Yeah. It is not, it's only emergency, and that is why it's not supposed to be given. And I want to tell you, go to the chemists. Friday, young boys and young girls are buying emergency pills. On Wednesday and Thursday, chemists are equipping emergency pills.
So that emergency pills, they are supposed to use it once in a while?
They are not supposed to use once in a while. They must be used under instruction by a medical service provider. You are taken through counseling. I have two girls who are using emergency pills. They are married, they are working, they are driving, but they have no child. Because it makes your hormones unstable. It causes hormonal imbalance, the reproductive hormones, if you use it consistently. It is not healthy. So if you want to enjoy sex as a youth, the only way is to use a condom, because you don't know the HIV status. And even if you test today for HIV status, and then you come back after 2 or 3 weeks, you say we tested last month or 2 weeks ago. Where was this man? Where was this lady for the 2 weeks?
You don't?
Yeah, you don't know. Yeah, so the only method is the condom and abstain. Yeah. In Christianity, we say abstain, and it's very much possible. You don't die. I've never seen somebody who has abstained that her or his private part swollen because he didn't have sex.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, we don't die.
And the only thing is that I feel so honored when I'm leaving my home and my son or my daughter ask me, Dad, Mom has given me responsibility. What can I do for you today? That's a responsible child. Yeah, I feel honored. I feel a privilege of being a father of this child. Yeah. Today I'm seeing youths on the roads that are employed by the county government, I believe so, working very hard because there's some payment. But the same youth give them to slash their compound, they cannot do it.
Because they're not being paid.
They are not being paid. Yeah. But if my compound is good, it looks nice, and you bring your fiancé in my home, how do you feel? And your fiancé says, hey, you have a wonderful home. Who is supposed to take care of that home? So youths can make it through abstaining or using condom. Yeah, but the issue of using emergency pills,
Let's go into that.
yeah, that's nothing we are moving.
All right. So
But youths are very intelligent. If they decide to take an action, they'll do it as a mass. They'll encourage one another, let's go in one direction. And they do the right things. Yeah. That's why if they decide to go to Makuti, they can, wanaweza mwakika pale, all of them will be there. But if there was a champion in this group and say, no, we don't belong this group. We don't belong this. I always tell my children, you don't belong to that group. If they are found there, they look awkward. Yeah. So the most important thing, the youths have to seek the information. As much as we blame the parents that are not there for their children, why is the church having a problem with the youths? Why is the community having a problem with the youths? Why is the government? Why is the leadership having a problem with the youths? Why are parents crying about the youths? Why should all kind of people pointing a finger at you? All of them cannot be wrong. Today, Jacinda, when I was growing up, if I saw somebody coming and I'm standing with a girl, all of us will disappear in different directions. Today, if I'm moving down these stairs and I found a boy and a girl are talking, one goes on the other side, another one goes inside, and the other person passes at the center. I got to one student, I was going to lecture to the lecture, and I got a boy and a girl. At 11:30 a.m., they're kissing one another on stairs. And I told the young man, John, I see you are making love. And the young man looked at me and said, yes, Doctor, we are making love. And they continued kissing. I had to wait for them to finish kissing to give me the way to pass. I cannot beat them. I cannot fight them.
So it happens.
Yeah, it happens.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. So these things cannot do in the presence of their parents.
Okay, so guys, we are here with Dr. Francis and think we are winding up. Okay, Dr. Francis, can you tell us what is your concern about the coronavirus? Are you still observing the health issues about the wearing masks, observing the social distancing, and also sanitization?
Yeah, I want to say this coronavirus is real. And when I was just coming in because I have a flu, you must have the masks. You must wash your hands with soap thoroughly. You must use sanitizers where it's possible. So we cannot take for granted corona is real.
So it's not a scam.
When we are talking about, I'm in a learning institution, how many professors have we lost? So many. Yeah. The first case of corona death, it was in Transoya. Engineer Morris, we buried in Kibomet here, opposite Kibomet Secondary School. Yeah.
So corona is real, it's there?
Corona is there, and the way I see the youths, they're behaving as if corona is not there, I feel for them.
Oh, corona is real, it's there. People should sanitize, observe the social distancing, and also wear masks.
Yeah.
So guys, that is what we had for today. You can still keep the conversation going on our social media platforms. That is on Facebook, Instagram, and also on Twitter at Shitty Trend on TV Show. But don't forget to subscribe and like our YouTube page at Shitty Trend on TV Show. Have been your host, Jacinta Adhiambo. Till next time, bye-bye.